You ready to go, Chris? All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby call to order this meeting of the Sedalia City Council on this 20th day of October, part of the 2025-2026 session. The meeting is now called to order. The first item on our agenda is legislative prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Chaplain Matson, you have the floor to lead us in prayer.
Would you stand as able and join me in our invocation tonight? Dear Lord, Father of us all, we come to you this evening to ask your guidance as the City Council of Sedalia, Mayor Pro Tem, administrators, staff, and ward members meet to hear about, question, discuss, and make decisions for the betterment of this community. We are grateful for their service and dedication to this city. We ask for protection for all of our first responders who work 24/7 to serve and protect us, often at their own peril. And tonight, particularly, the Sedalia Fire Department, after months of training, are now welcoming 3 new members who are being badged tonight: William Thomas Holman, Jacob Walker, and Connor Moriarty. We wish them well in their service to this city. We are grateful for the United States of America, this constitutional republic for which thousands have fought and died to create and preserve for 250 years. We ask your blessing and protection for all of our military and civilians serving this great country today, here and throughout the world, and that they are brought home safely to their families. And now, as we leave tonight, please protect us and our loved ones. Keep us from harm until we meet again. And all this we pray in the name of our risen Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Robinson.
Yes.
Ames.
Here.
Scribner.
Here.
Bogus.
Here.
Hiller.
Here.
Cross.
Here.
Foster.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
Okay, next item on our agenda is special awards. For that, we'll invite up Fire Chief Irwin to go ahead and present a badge pinning.
Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the council, thank you for having us again tonight. I'd like to call up William Holman, Jacob Walker, Connor Moriarty. They are being penned this evening by Williams by his wife Caitlin, Jacob by his wife Delaney, and Connor by his grandmother Judy. On up. So the gentlemen that are standing in front of you have spent the last little over 8 months training, pushing through a lot of information to begin their careers with the Sedalia Fire Department. They've absorbed a lot of information, completed a lot of testing. They pushed through a 6-month EMT class in just over a month. It was a new hybrid class. So they have really earned their badges that they are receiving tonight. This is just the beginning for them. Talking with their instructors, the deputy fire chief, we have a very good group of firefighters that are coming on board with us this evening. So I would like to have them go ahead and receive their badges this evening. So go ahead and just no blood. One of them is a little nervous because I told him he had a speech. Are they all on? Ladies and gentlemen, firefighters William Holman, Jacob Walker, and Connor Moriarty.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Cheers, boss. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good deal, buddy.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
All right, very good. Moving along, we'll go ahead and move on to the approval of the previous session meeting minutes. These are the council meeting minutes dated October 6, 2025. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any council discussion regarding those meeting minutes? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Now we'll move on to the approval of the previous session, the report of special boards, commissions, and committee minutes. This is the acceptance of the Citizens Traffic Advisory Commission minutes dated September 10th, 2025. Do I have a motion and second?
Make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any council discussion regarding those meeting minutes? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Now we have a matter of unfinished business. For this, we will turn this over to Chairwoman Bogus.
Thank you. Tonight, we have, under our unfinished business, it's a building permit fee waiver for the coffee shop remodel at State Fair Community College. This was tabled at the October 6th council meeting. So we have a resolution.
Very good. I believe there were some questions that were raised at the October 6th meeting. Administrator Wirt, do you have the answer to those questions?
Yeah, one of the main questions was where do the proceeds of the coffee shop go and who would be running those? Dr. Bates is also here to answer any questions that you have, but from him and I's conversation, it is the SFCC Foundation that will be operating it for the first 2 years, and then it will fall back to the college after that.
Very good. Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Bates as he is here to provide any points of information?
I do have a question. Is 100% of the profit from this going back to the school?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is really not a profit-making enterprise for us. Our research shows that if we engage students outside of the classroom, we keep them on campus, they are more retained and more chance of being successful. So this is an activity to get students engaged on campus in the library, bring them to the library, engage with other students, and the hope is that they'll be completers. In addition, State Fair Community College has a new strategic initiative called Work, Earn, Thrive. And we're about training people for jobs. We hear from our employers that many people don't have basic work skills. And so we're going to work on adding work skills for every completer at State Fair Community College through giving them hands-on experience, internship opportunities, apprenticeships, jobs on campus. So this will be an initiative, not just a barista, but there will be also opportunities for accounting, for public relations or marketing, and other aspects of running a business that will have students take interest in and participate in those processes. So it's a long answer. To paraphrase, you should never give the microphone to a college president.
Sure.
So,
Okay, I have a question.
yes, ma'am.
In our notes, it says that it will be that SFCC will resume management, but you do not state who the actual owner of the restaurant's going to be.
It's the college. The
It
college
is the college?
is the owner. Yes, we have a private donor that is funding the startup. The donation has been made to the State Fair Community College Foundation. So the foundation will get it up and running. It's paying for that, and then hand over the day-to-day operations to the college when it gets up and running.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure the college was the owner and not an individual that will
Yes, ma'am.
eventually assume.
It's a college operation.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, council?
Can I ask about how much this permit fee that they're asking to be waived is going to be?
You guys
Well,
haven't,
Refer that to Administrator Wirt.
we haven't had a dollar amount submitted yet, I believe, for the entire, but it's going to be minimal.
It's a very small project.
Okay, with that being said, does State Fair Community College have revenue issues and they can't afford to do this permit, or?
No, ma'am.
Any other questions, council? All right, thank you, Dr. Bates.
Thank you.
With that, we'll go ahead and call for the reading of Resolution 2148.
Resolution 2148, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, waiving permit fees for a coffee shop remodel in the Donald C. Proctor Library at State Fair Community College.
Oh, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion to approve the resolution. I have a second. Do I have any council discussion or anyone that would like to speak in support or opposition of the resolution?
Mayor, I will recuse myself as SFCC is my employer.
Very good, thank you. Anyone else?
I also
Having heard none,
wish
all those
to
in favor?
recuse myself.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I also wish to recuse myself since I own a coffee shop and it could be viewed as a conflict. Thank you.
All right, very good. We have 2 abstaining. Any further discussion? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Jason, can you poll the council, please?
Absolutely. Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
No.
August,
No.
Hiller,
No.
Cross,
Yes.
and Foster abstained, and Franklin abstained. So you have 3 yes, 3 no, 2 abstain.
All right. With that, the resolution fails as the abstentions. You need the 5 votes to go ahead and get that across the line. All right, moving along, we have the roll call of standing committees. Up first, we have Finance Administration, so it's back to you, Chairwoman Bogus.
Under Finance and Administration, we have 3 presentations tonight. The first presentation being the employee insurance renewal for IMA presenters.
So with that, we'll go ahead and give the representatives that are here from IMA the floor.
Good evening. I'm Anna Konopasek with IMA. We are the broker consultant for the health and welfare employee benefits.
Yeah, hi, Nick White with IMA.
All right, so the bulk of this conversation is going to be regarding the medical renewal, kind of how we arrived at that and what that funding is going to look like for 1/1/26. So just as a reminder, the city was fully insured in 2023, moved to that bundled, partially self-funded arrangement in 2024, as well as continued that in 2025. And the recommendation is to remain in that bundled, partially self-funded arrangement in 2026. We did evaluate unbundling, and we'll touch on that in just a bit. And then, yeah, again, just continue to remain in that long-term commitment to the self-funding arrangement in 2027 and future years, as that allows the plan flexibility to pull any strategic levers. So just overall trend drivers, we've got those up on the screen here, but we are, and these aren't specific to the city, but just seeing claims increasing due to hospital systems and health systems renegotiating those contracts, which drives up some of the cost of healthcare, and that's due to their overhead, their salaries being paid out at higher rates, the cost of their gown costing more, behavioral health costs are going up, drug spend is increasing due to those new drug launches. Implementation of AI should eventually reduce some costs, but initially, while that's being rolled out, is increasing the costs of the healthcare delivery system. And then regulatory changes at the federal level are having some trickle-down effect to the employer plans as well, also driving some of those costs in 2026. So specifically relating to the city of Sedalia, we do see the claims on that self-funded component of your plan going up about in line with what those trend increases are at that 8.3% due to some of those items we just talked about on the prior slide. However, the insured component of your plan for those claims over $100,000, those are insured on each individual. Those are increasing at 75%, which is only a portion of your overall costs, but will have a significant impact on the renewal for 1/1 of '26. So by the time we add in that increase for those premiums for the large claims and some of those other admin costs, those admin increases are going up 65%. We have a chart here to kind of reflect what has happened over the years with those renewals and why you're seeing such a significant increase on that insured piece this year. So you pay a premium for those claims that are over 100,000 to have insurance on those large claimants. When we went through your 1/1/24 renewal, the amount over 100,000 that went into that calculation was only $12,000. So the premium was more than covering that risk. Same thing occurred in 2025. We did the renewal. There was $265,000 worth of claims over that 100,000 mark, but still enough premium to cover that risk. It went up some, but not at a significant level. Then we get to 1/1/26, and we had $1.6 million worth of claims over that $100,000 mark. So that premium to cover those claims has gone up 75% to help cover some of that. Obviously, Blue Cross is still at a loss this year and for the life of that insurance. So we did proactively market your plans in June to determine if there was any potential options there for different medical carriers, different medical networks, pharmacy networks, and there was nothing that suggested a change should occur. You were in the best place in terms of network discounts and overall admin costs. We did not receive that renewal from Blue Cross until September when we learned about the significant increase in that stop loss premium, that large claim premium, which wasn't a huge surprise. We had planned to market the stop loss, but what was a surprise is that we were unable to find anything competitive at all from the market. So 7 of the carriers we went to declined due to the historical losses. 1 did quote, but it was not competitive from an overall risk perspective. You guys would have been taking on more risk, even if you got some more positive provisions going forward, such as rate caps. So with that being said, we're looking at a 27.7% needed increase to the funding rates for 1/1 of '26. That does include a 10% margin. So as a self-funded plan, we're going to say, here's what we expect your claims to be. But there's another 25% on top of that that's going to be your maximum. So we say, here's what we expect. We're going to put 10% on top of that for some margin. And that's what we recommend that the city funds at. The suggestion is also to increase employee contributions by 12% and then have the city take on 30% of that increase. That does assume staying with Blue Cross in your current arrangement, that bundled self-funded arrangement, keep that same specific deductible level of 100% or 100,000 and take that 75% stop loss renewal. It does not include any rate caps. So if that's in red, that's kind of a negative compared to some of the other options that we looked at, but it's not putting any lasers, which are when you say, hey, instead of capping this person at 100,000, we're going to cap them at 400,000. That's what some of the other options were looking like. And it's not excluding anybody from coverage, which would definitely put unlimited risk. So the reason for this recommendation is it does cap your risk better than any of the other options we looked at. So with that being said, we've got a recommendation on, and I've got another screen that blows this up a little bit here in a minute, but the city picking up 94% of that increase. We also have a few green boxes here, which I know are really hard to see, but feedback that we had received from city employees is that they wanted to see the employee plus children and family tiers subsidized at a greater level. So that's what we've done here. We're picking up having the city pick up a bigger percentage of those tiers than they were in the past. And the thought here is that hopefully getting some of that better risk onto your plan will benefit the plan in the long run. And then, apologize, there's an error up there that should say monthly increase from 25 on the far right side, but this shows what those 26 proposed contributions are and then what they're changing by from the prior year, or from the current year, really. And you'll see too that that PPO 5,000 and 3,300 still maintains that $0 cost for employees, which is a great benefit to be able to maintain. And then there are a couple of tiers, as we talked about too, that are decreasing. So the employee plus children on the 5,000 and 3,300, as well as that family tier on the 5,000. And then we're not recommending any plan design changes other than what the IRS requires on that high deductible health plan, with it going from 3,300 to 3,400.
Can you go back one screen for me just a second?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't read if it was monthly or by paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
So that's it on the medical. I'm going to touch on some other benefits, but that was a lot of information, so I can pause for any questions here on the medical.
Does the council have any questions regarding the medical? Doesn't look like it.
We did receive a 9% increase from the Standard, who is your current insurer for the dental plan. We are recommending moving that plan to Blue Cross Blue Shield of Kansas City because they provide a 0 increase and a 2-year rate guarantee and a 3rd-year rate cap of 7.5%. It does have similar provider access. There is going to be some minimal disruption, so people could either use the out-of-network benefit, which isn't as big of a deal to do under dental as it is under medical, or find a new provider if their provider is not in network. And then it does also provide a small decrease to that medical renewal on those admin components of 0.5%. And then we're also recommending that the city move that long-term employer-paid long-term disability plan to a gross-up plan, which just means that the city is going to be increasing employee salaries by the amount of that long-term disability premium, so that that premium gets taxed, but the benefit does not. So right now, if somebody were to go out on long-term disability because there's no premium coming out of their paycheck that's being taxed, the benefit itself gets taxed. If we do the gross up, then that premium gets taxed and the benefit, which is already a 60% benefit, not 100% of somebody's salary, that doesn't get taxed. So somebody's getting a bigger benefit if they were to go out on long-term disability. Any questions there?
Any questions, council?
Yeah, the cost is, sorry, about $9,000 for that. I didn't mention that. And then in terms of, this is the last slide here, the other benefits, anything bolded is another benefit that would have been up for renewal 1/1 of 26. The vision is with Blue Cross. It is increasing 5%. We did market that as well, and that Blue Cross was the best option there, or the most minimal disruption. And then the life and disability and short-term disability were also up for renewal and also did not receive an increase there.
Any questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next for presentations would be the revenue collection trend by Jessica.
Good evening. So we'll be looking at the second chart of numbers, which are the fiscal year to date totals. What we're reporting on is August sales at the cash registers. Net sales and use tax fiscal year to date is up $162,000 or 1.4%. We had budgeted a 4% increase, so that is reporting lower than budget by about $300,000 fiscal year to date. The marijuana tax is the additional 3% sales tax on the marijuana sales. It started at cash registers at the stores in October of 2023. So this fiscal year is the first year that we have a full year of comparison to the prior year. So fiscal year to date, and we were over last year around $18,000. Franchise tax is lower fiscal year to date by over $350,000. That's primarily due to the decrease in electric tax of $347,000 fiscal year to date. Transportation tax is higher fiscal year to date, primarily due to the increase in gasoline tax, which is up 11.2% fiscal year to date, where vehicle sales is flat and then vehicle fees are down 2.7%. Property tax is lower fiscal year to date, but the majority of those payments are received in December and January, so we'll have a better idea of that when we get to those months. Any questions?
Any questions, council? All right, thank you, Jessica.
Thank you. And our last presenter will be strategic planning presentation by our city clerk.
I'll make a comment first. When I was putting my presentation together, I felt like I had to set the bar for Chief Irwin this year when he does his presentation. So mine's only about an hour and a half tonight. So no, it's okay. All right. So here we go. So I found a quote up there, person named Helen Keller. Teamwork. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. And in order to fulfill and complete requests made by citizens and our other city departments, it takes the entire city clerk's office to accomplish it and make it happen. As you can see, I have a large staff. Myself, my deputy Janice, and receptionist Rachel, and they do a fantastic job. Why we exist. The office of the city clerk is one of the oldest positions in municipal government. First clerk was appointed in 1867. And just a fun little fact, combined, the last 4 city clerks, including myself, we've had a total number of years with the city of 141 years. And total number of years in position as city clerk, 63. So in 63 years, you've only had 4 city clerks. The office serves the city council, all city departments, general public for information regarding the operations and legislative history of the city. Per state statute, the clerk is charged with safeguarding and keeping all records of the city and administering official oaths of office. So when we talk about official records, we're talking about board minutes, council minutes, scrapbook articles, ordinances, resolutions, anything that. Oaths of office, I swear in all elected officials, board members, and department heads. Per city ordinance, the clerk's custodian of the city seal, and what that means, I have to ensure that the seal is properly stored and protected from unauthorized use or damage. And I also have to determine how the seal is used and applied to official city documents. And I'm also responsible for council agendas and minutes for all official council meetings. Current services. Our office is the information center for the city. We're the first point of contact for citizens either on the phone or that come to the front counter needing to know where they need to go, which department they need to see. We have the switchboard in our office, and believe it or not, citizens do prefer speaking to a live person over automation. We do the incoming, outgoing mail, and this year, myself and Finance Director Pyle, we're in the process of looking at consolidating our 2 postage machines into one. We have one in our office. Finance has one in their office. So we're looking at consolidating just to one machine. And we think we've narrowed it down to save some money, and it'll be included in this next year's budget, the figure on that. We open and tabulate bids. We post all meetings, events by ordinance. I'm the treasurer of the Fire Pension Fund. Currently, that fund is in the process of being transferred to loggers. Should be hopefully within the next 2 to 3 months we're looking at. I also accept filings for elected offices and coordinate elections with Pettis County Clerk. General elections, they're held in April every year. Mayor positions 4-year term, council are 2-year terms, and those are staggered. And then special elections for issues, issuance of bonds, continuance, increase sales taxes, use taxes, et cetera on that. We also do maintain databases for various index books, and we index them in a way that the information contained in all of them cross-references the other books so we can easily look up things quicker and easier. So as you can see, we have a lot of them, Code of Ordinances, all of that stuff since 1864, master traffic books, etc. Elections, we have that go back, propositions back to 1871. More current services, we also do maintain the department inventories and all insurance policies to assure the city is covered. Effective January 1 of this year, we did enter into agreement with IMA for insurance brokerage services on all of our policies. And effective September 1 of this year, we consolidated all of the individual policies for liability, auto, property, and work comp into one policy with Travelers. They gave us a 3-year rate guarantee, and the consolidation is going to save the city approximately $160,000 a year for the next 3 years. Code book. Our Code of Ordinances was last recodified in 2010. So at some point, all municipalities, they're going to recodify to account for any legislative changes, identify any newly adopted potential conflicts, and just for an overall new appearance. It's suggested that recodification occur approximately over 10 years. So we're about 5 years past that. But our office regularly coordinates with Civic Plus, which is our codification company, to keep the Code of Ordinances up to date. We scan all the ordinances and resolutions to them after they're passed and approved, and then they incorporate any changes that affect any of those sections in the code into the book. And then we do receive quarterly supplements. Just some numbers, phone calls answered. This is as of September 30th, 2025. Year to date, we have answered 16,483 calls, and that's just from January to September. So ordinances, resolutions completed and scanned year to date as of October 6th, 171 ordinances, 30 resolutions. So we've had 201 pieces of legislation that have been passed this year. Agendas and minutes, they've stayed pretty consistent. Again, total of 46 different ones, your regular meetings, work sessions, any special sessions, closed door. Permanent record books. These are big ledger books we keep in the vault, and we transfer all the minutes and ordinances over into those for preservation history. They're acid-free pages, nothing. Each of those books cost approximately $700 to $800 a book, and they hold about 3 to 4 years of information in them. We have two separate ones. We have one for the council minutes and one for ordinance and resolutions, and that's kind of what they look like there on the pictures you'll see. Records request. If you remember back August 18th, you all approved fee increase for those. Fees went into effect October 1. The police base rate went from $24.75 to $32.22, and the other fire and general ones went from $23.60 to $29.67 an hour. And again, both of those rates, they're based on the current salary base rate and current benefits. And also per the sunshine law for copy charge, we can charge 10 cents a page for copies. So just to go back to give you a little comparison, so these numbers are as of October 10th. So fire requests, if you look on the 25 there, the number of requests, we've had 76 up to October 10th. When I gave this presentation back on the 18th of August, we had a total of 56 requests for fire. So we've had an additional 20. Number of requesters, we got 60 there. We had 46 back in August. We've only increased about 2 hours on the hours billed and about $52 on the billed amount. General requests, again, looking just the 2025 numbers. Back on August 18th, we had 111 requests. We're now up to 176. So we've had 65 additional requests in 2 months. Number of requesters, 46. That is an increase of 13 requesters. We've had number of hours billed at 153.75 hours. That's an increase of almost 80 hours billed. And billed amount, a little over 3,800. And back in August, was 1,922. So we're at a $1,900 increase on billed amount. Strategies going forward, scanning. Of course, as the city grows, the amount of paperwork does too. And, more responsibility in taking care of the records. And with tighter budgets and less space, scanning has become a vital part of our office. We've scanned majority of records, but we continue to scan on a regular basis to allow for easy access document searches. And from October 2022 to April of 25, our former city clerk stayed here as a transition assistant because her and I were in the middle of a project, and her and I alone went through an extensive records management process by going through approximately 500 plus boxes of old records from various departments that were in storage everywhere. So that was a fun project. Microfilming. Per Secretary of State, all permanent records must be microfilmed for preservation. It's the most cost-effective method for retention, and it's the only media recognized by the state for preservation of historical records. That has been like that since I've been with the city. I have no idea why they haven't changed that, but they keep microfilm as the only media recognized. We assist the Human Resources Department filming terminated employee files, sick leave files. We also film general ledgers and payroll for finance as they need them filmed. And we do our own prepping and scanning of all the documents to save costs before we send it to the microfilm company to convert to microfilm. And yes, we do have one of those monsters on the right. And yes, that is what the film and stuff looks like. If you ever have to look through it, don't have a headache or anything because it will give you more of one. It shut off now. Strategies going for storage. I'm working with IT for some options on archiving some of our older data because the primary file server, it's nearing its capacity. And our goal is to implement sustainable solution to ensure continued access to the files while optimizing IT's server performance and availability. These are four of the options that IT gave us and that we're looking at. The main one we're looking at right now is probably option 2, deploying a network attached storage device. It allows to offload older, less frequently accessed data from the main server, which would free up the space from the main server without disrupting any operations, and it can be scaled as needed. That's going to cost approximately around $700, and I would say that is per device we put. So if we only get the one, it's be $700. The other one we kind of looked at was number 3 on the cloud-based, but the number 2 is going to be the most cost-effective for our office right now. And by evaluating the options, of course, we want to balance the cost, accessibility, and long-term scalability to ensure that the infrastructure remains efficient and reliable, for everything. Our ongoing department goals: provide a welcoming environment to citizens and visitors, whether they're on the phone or in person. That's something that my staff does a great job doing. Accurately record and carefully preserve and safeguard the legislative history of the city. Ensure compliance with established city policies, state statutes. Maximize our access to city records and information. Increase automation to streamline, and then identify and improve services we provide to meet the changing needs of our citizens. I challenge my staff every day to come up with new ideas if they have anything they think of. The only last slide I have, I had to throw in a sports quote because I play sports, but if anybody knows about the NBA, there was a Hall of Fame coach named Phil Jackson, and he coached the Chicago Bulls and LA Lakers, and he had some pretty good teams then. But Phil came out with a quote, and he said, "The strength of the team is each individual member, and the strength of the member is the team." And that could fit with all of our departments, not just mine. So with that's the end of mine. I think I beat the hour and a half. If anybody has any questions, I can try to answer for you.
I do have 2 questions.
Yes.
You were back, travelers, said it's a savings of 160. Is the coverage with travelers the same as what we have now?
Actually, a lot of the coverages are better, and City Administrator Work can allude to that too. I mean, a lot of the coverages are better. The services that I have seen, they have a lot more optional services that we did not have with some of the other companies that we have access to now, that a lot of our departments can access as well.
Just wanted to make sure we weren't losing anything for safety.
No, we're actually gaining on that.
Okay. My second question is your option 2 on your optional storage device.
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take to fill this? How long did it take to fill the first one? And how much space does this one give you?
We don't have one of those right now. We have all of our files on the main server.
Yeah, you said your server's getting close to full. So
yeah, that's
how many years of storage does option 2 give you? Just a guesstimate.
Probably, Chris, what do you say, 4 to 5 or more?
I'd say probably that. We haven't done a good evaluation of the existing data to know exactly how much is there, but yeah, several years worth.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else?
Any other questions, Council?
I think you and your staff are doing a super job. I know anytime I call down here and ask you for a question, you jump right on it. The staff very courtesy, and I like it. A real person answering the phone. That's great.
Yeah. That was actually decided a long time ago, prior councils before you. They did not want to see the automation. They wanted that live person answering the phone. So
that's good.
Anybody else?
You're a busy man.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Thank you, Jason. Let's see, that wraps up Finance and Administration. Up next, we have Public Works. Chairwoman Franklin, you have the floor.
We have 4 items this evening. The first one, city staff has developed a new process to allow individuals, organizations, civic groups to apply for permissive use of right-of-way in situations where a traditional easement would not be necessary or practical. Currently, an individual or group seeks to place an improvement within the city's right-of-way, the only available mechanism is to request an easement. However, an easement grants a permanent property interest to the applicant, which limits the city's future control over that area, involves costly legal and administrative procedures. The proposed permissive use process creates a more flexible, efficient alternative. Under this process, the applicant will submit a formal application describing the purpose, location, and nature of requested encroachment. The city staff will review the application for compliance with applicable codes, right-of-way regulations, and public safety considerations. Upon staff verification, the request will be brought to City Council for review and final approval. A key distinction between the process and an easement is that permissive use does not convey a permanent property right and may be revoked by the city at any time, thereby preserving the city's full authority and control over right-of-way. This provides flexible and civic-minded or low-impact projects while maintaining public oversight and accountability. One such example of the anticipated use of this process involves a local civic group that has requested permission to install a sign within this public right-of-way recognizing all civic organizations located in Sedalia. The new application process will provide a clear, consistent, legally sound path for such request while protecting the city's long-term interest and ensuring uniform review standards.
All right, call for the reading of bill number 2025-176.
Bill number 2025-176, an ordinance authorizing a process for permissive use of right-of-way.
Second reading?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the second reading of bill number 2025-176. Do you have any council discussion or anyone that would like to speak in support or opposition of this bill? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2025-176, an ordinance authorizing a process for permissive use of right-of-way.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion for final passage and a second. Do you have any council discussion regarding the bill that's on the floor? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Bogus,
Yes.
Hiller,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner.
Yes.
All in favor.
Motion passes.
The second item, Dennis and Diana Milnicek, owners of Lot 55 in Shepherd Meadow Estate, Plat 2, 3570 Ashland Lane, have requested connection to the city's water distribution and sanitary sewer systems, as the property is located outside current city limits. The proposed annexation and utility service agreement allows the connection to occur under conditions that the property owner complete annexation into the city if the property becomes contiguous within the city limits. Under the terms of the agreement, the Milniceks will pay out-of-city limit water and sewer rates until the annexation process is finalized. The agreement also authorizes the city to disconnect service if annexation is not completed as required. The property owners have signed and notarized the agreement, which has been reviewed by staff and is presented to council for consideration and approval.
All right, call for the reading of bill number 2025-177.
Bill number 2025-177, an ordinance authorizing an annexation and utility services agreement for connection to property located at 3570 Ashland Lane to the City of Sedalia's sanitary sewer and water distribution systems.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I actually need a motion for second reading.
Sorry. Motion for second reading.
I have a motion for second reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any council discussion regarding bill number 2025-177? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2025-177, an ordinance authorizing an annexation utility services agreement for connection of property located at 3570 Ashland Lane to the City of Sedalia's sanitary sewer and water distribution systems.
Final passage?
Second.
I have a motion and second for final passage of bill number 2025-177. Do I have any council discussion regarding that bill? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Hiller,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Ames,
Yes.
Scribner,
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
All in favor?
Motion passes.
The third item, during the fiscal year 26 budget process, city staff recommended a comprehensive condition assessment as the most effective way to prioritize repairs, plan future improvements, and maintain regulatory compliance with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources at the Southeast Wastewater Treatment Plant. Proper assessment and maintenance are essential to ensure the facility continues to meet all state and federal wastewater treatment standards. The City Council approved $100,000 in the fiscal year 26 budget for this initiative. Following an RFQ process and scope refinement, Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley was selected as the highest-ranked, most qualified firm. CMT's revised proposals meet city operational needs and budget parameters. This project will provide detailed evaluation of the plant's structural, electrical, and mechanical systems, and outside prioritized plan upgrades necessary to sustain reliable treatment performance and ongoing regulatory compliance.
All right, call for the reading of bill number 2025-178.
Bill number 2025-178, an ordinance authorizing a professional services agreement for condition assessment of the Southeast Wastewater Treatment Facility.
Second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the second reading of bill number 2025-178. Have any council discussion regarding that bill? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2025-178, an ordinance authorizing a professional services agreement for condition assessment of the Southeast Wastewater Treatment Facility.
Final passage.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the final passage of bill number 2025-178. Do I have any council discussion regarding that bill? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Cross.
Yes.
Foster.
Yes.
Franklin.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
Scribner.
Yes.
Bogus.
Yes.
Hiller.
Yes.
All in favor?
Bill passes.
And the final item, a resident submitted a formal request for installation of a stop sign at the intersection of Southwest Boulevard and Skyline Drive to address perceived traffic and safety concerns. The request was first reviewed by the Public Safety Committee, which recommended it be referred to Citizens Traffic Advisory Commission for further evaluation. The Traffic Advisory Commission reviewed the request at its meeting September 10th, 2025, considering traffic flow, sight distance, existing stop control patterns, and safety data for the intersection. Following discussion, the commission voted 7 in favor and 0 opposed to denying recommending established of a three-way stop at this location. Although the commission did not recommend approval, the ordinance has been prepared for council's consideration should they wish to act on the residents' request.
All right, very good. Go ahead and call for the reading of bill number 2025-179.
Bill number 2025-179, an ordinance establishing a three-way stop sign at the intersection of Southwest Boulevard and Skyline Drive.
Second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the second reading of this bill. Do I have anyone that would like to speak in support or opposition of bill number 2025-179?
Mayor Dawson, I'll recuse myself because I have property in the direct vicinity.
Very good. Anyone else?
So the traffic advisory is advising that we don't put the stop sign there.
That is correct.
Well, just one block west of there, there's a four-way stop
Okay.
from Wing. Clarendon Road, Skyline.
They have done their traffic studies and there were very few actual accidents there.
There was no accidents recorded there in the past.
Yes. They don't, the advisory commission did not see a reason to put it in.
Right.
Any other council discussion?
I feel because it's a school area and there's school children crossing in that area, that it would be a good thing to do for safety reasons.
All right, we have one speaking in support. Anyone else?
I feel that,
Oh, go ahead.
I feel that too, for safety of the kids.
All right.
Well, that's like 6 blocks on past the school.
But there are children that are walking in that area to school from
And-
that 6 block.
And there's no sidewalks right away. They have to walk in the street.
Mhm.
Anyone else? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Jason, can you poll the council, please?
Sure. Foster,
No.
Franklin, you abstain. Robinson,
No.
Ames,
No.
Scribner,
No.
August,
Yes.
Hiller,
No.
Cross.
Yes.
You have 2 yes, 5 no, 1 abstain.
All right, so we will not proceed on to the second reading. The bill fails. Thank you for your votes. And I believe that's everything for Public Works. Thank you, Chairwoman Franklin. Moving along to liquor licenses. Call for the reading of the liquor licenses.
We have 1 new and 2 renewals tonight. We have a new special event license for Lisa Volk doing business as the End Zone at 3129 West Broadway for the Ducks Unlimited banquet on October 25th at the Missouri State Fairgrounds from 5:30 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. And renewals for Paul Bykert doing business as County Distributing at 1800 Eagle View Drive for wholesale beer, and Paige Scherer doing business as Local Tap at 700 South Ohio for liquor by the drink.
Motion to approve in block?
Second.
I have a motion to approve in block, and I have a second. Does the council have any discussion regarding those liquor licenses? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Up next, we have any miscellaneous items from the city council or city administrator. Does anyone have anything?
If I may address the city council tonight, I'd appreciate it, Mayor. This is to my council colleagues and others. I just wanted to share with you my reason for the absence of when we had the meeting in regards to our viaduct. That Facebook comes up with all kinds of stuff, and I just want to go on record saying that I had a doctor's appointment that I had to keep. I am a quintuple coronary artery bypass patient, which means there's 5 arteries that have been done. I'm coming up on my 15 year of survival for that. And so I had to keep that appointment. And I just felt the desire to share this with you because once again, Facebook attacks have begun, and I just wanted to be on record and assure you that I wasn't out committing adultery or getting any abortions or going by any kind of crazy ways, doing all kind of stuff and drinking and driving. That's not what I done. I had a doctor's appointment that I could not make. I doubt that this will stop the ugliness of the Facebook that goes on a daily basis, but I thank you very much for being unanimous and voting to move forward on that bridge and getting it done.
Thank you, Councilwoman Bogus. Anyone else? All right. Having heard none, we'll move on to good and welfare. This is a time we've set aside for residents of Sedalia to address their city council directly. As a reminder, anyone wishing to speak must have signed up in advance using the form located in the lobby prior to the start of the meeting. That form requires your name, address, telephone number, and the agenda item you wish to address. Comments must relate to items on tonight's agenda unless a formal written request to speak on a non-agenda topic was submitted at least 2 business days in advance. Each speaker will be allowed up to 3 minutes to present their remarks. Please clearly state your name and address for the record when you come to the microphone. This is not a time for debate or dialogue with council members. The council chambers is a limited public forum, and all remarks must be directed to the council as a whole. I would remind everyone that personal attacks on specific city employees by name or title are not permitted. If you wish to file a formal complaint regarding an employee, you may do so in writing through the clerk's office. Disruptive behavior such as shouting, refusing to yield the floor, or blocking the view of others will not be tolerated, and violators may be asked to leave or removed by law enforcement if necessary. Your comments tonight will be recorded as part of the official public record. We thank you for your cooperation in maintaining decorum. At this time, we'll begin calling those who have signed up forward to speak. And Clerk Myers, can you go ahead and proceed with that?
Yeah, we have 2 individuals sign up for agenda items and 1 non-agenda. So 2 on the agenda items. First one, I have Kevin Patton. He wants to talk about the previous session minutes from October 6th.
All right, come on up, Kevin.
prepared this for actually, my name is Kevin Patton. I actually though reside actually outside of the city limits. I reside actually about 12 miles north of town on Highway BB in Houstonia. If the city council could listen and have an open mind longer than 3 minutes per person, per topic, we might be able to start making real progress. Each topic relates to another topic. I can give you examples upon request. As of last city council meeting, October 6th, the city council had allowed Show Me Smoke Free to do a presentation and was longer than 3 minutes. Plus, there are other organizations that also violate this 3-minute rule. Where were they special? If this is the decorum that actually the city council gives, then this is a kangaroo city council. And does it represent the city residents of Sedalia? Now, in the spirit of Charlie Kirk, can we have a civilized debate and have dialogue between each other? These city council meetings only happen once a week on Monday nights. Why can't the city council meet more than one day a week after all the taxpayers pay them? It is a job for them, and it should be treated as such. If this is a place where everyone would be fired, back when I was at UCM, this decorum leaves me shaking my head. I have several questions to be able to ask you. Now, as far as grievances, if someone had a grievance with the entire city council, then what? Back at the first of the year, Vice Chairman Foster had said that if someone had a grievance towards a specific individual, submit it in writing. This was an individual, not the entire city council. Now, I ask you for the questions. Are there city council members paid? Next thing is, again, last city council meeting, the resolution 2150, Bill 2025-170 required sanitation and containment wall construction. What was the bill about and for? The council sat and didn't ask any questions or no communication between each other, which gave the appearance to me that the bill had already been discussed behind closed doors, or city council didn't have questions prepared about the bill that was voted on. Now, again, last city council meeting, you cut off Debbie Covington and didn't allow her to finish and cut her off at the 2-minute mark. Will you allow her to finish? Next is that regarding Tom
Mr. Patton, your time has expired. And could I get your address for the record?
Sure, it is 26115 Highway BB, Houstonia, Missouri. That's why I've actually moved out of the city. Well, my parents have moved out of the city.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Patton.
Have a good day.
All right, you too. All right, up next.
Next one I have is Debbie Covington. She wants to talk about the building permit waiver for the college.
Debbie Covington, P.O. Box 965, Sedalia. Well, miracles happen every day. I want to thank, first I want to say, I think the clerk's office is amazing and they do wonderful and they're always very polite to work with. Miracles happen every day. I want to thank the council for voting not to waive the fees for the coffee shop at State Fair. That was fair and fiscally responsible. A decision that treats public money as everyone's money. This was especially responsible as you couldn't even present a dollar amount on what it would be waived if the bill was passed. How does a bill make it this far without a dollar amount? How many bills have been passed under this administration without numbers? This is a red flag to me. On the agenda, you changed the financial update to revenue collection trends. A good way of getting out of publishing expenses to the public after we've been asking for this for the last 2 years. For years, we've seen plenty of presentations on revenue, but almost none on expenditures. When the city tells us what it takes in, yet never shows us what goes out, that's not a trend, it's a blind spot, keeping the public in the dark on how tax dollars are spent. Tonight's decision is a good start towards balance, but accountability requires full transparency. Please publish both revenue and expenditures for these trends so the public can see the whole picture. And because tonight's agenda again cites ordinance 12255, I must point out that it is still restricting open discussion of these very policies such as revenue trends, fee waivers, and the absence of expenditures. Residents should be able to thank you for the fair vote or question future spending without fear of being silenced. Every constituent that would want to get up here tonight to thank you for the fairness, they can't, because you spoke about it during the meeting. They had to sign up ahead of time, or they have to sign up 2 days in advance. You all know the drill. So please keep applying the same fairness towards every future project. Publish complete financial trend comparisons, and put an amendment or repeal the ordinance 1225, also known as the anti-free speech amendment, on your next agenda to protect open comment. Fiscal responsibility and free speech go hand in hand. Thank you for choosing fairness tonight. Now let's follow through with full transparency.
Thank you, Ms. Covington.
And the last one I have is David Goodson, and he wants to talk about the certificates of participation for the Bowling Alley Fire Station Fire Training.
Hello, my name's David Goodson, live here in Sedalia. Regarding the notes of participation, these aren't good because they remove the requirement that exists under standard bonds for the public to vote on these. So the public has no say-so in them. I think that's bad. And also the risk of the debt, it's not fully captured in these notes of participation. So the same way that standard bonds are captured. So again, this isn't good. I would consider that a little bit wonky bookkeeping. I know in a private business, we can't not show the true numbers and still get financing. I cannot find any public record of discussion, pro or con, of the recent approvals of the notes of participation by the finance admin committees. Do those exist? And if so, where would we find those at? I also haven't heard what the committee members' expertise are to assist in this indebtedness risk. You've got 3 members who are part of that, but I've not heard about any of your qualifications to make these big decisions with multi-million dollars that affect all of us. Similar concerns about other city committees, boards, and commissioners and their decisions, particularly in the wake of ongoing revenue budget shortfalls. Other city fees have increased and have been placed on the backs of Sedalia businesses and residents. Will certificates of participation be used to pay for any related work to the Washington Street Bridge repair or renovation project? Appreciate if you guys could clarify that for us as well. The public also deserves to know why a special meeting was scheduled Thursday for a Friday vote on the Washington Street Bridge repair with no timeline made for public comment. Did you schedule the Friday meeting instead of adding it to the night's agenda so people could not discuss it? You continue to hide the public and stop them from participating in shared governance process on indebtedness. This debt goes to everybody. The Sedalia Democrat had reported back in March of 22, Mr. Mayor, the council said the first order of business was to be transparent. I don't think that's really happened on this $18.5 million notes of participation for the fire station or the bowling alley. Have any of the committee members even met once this month and looked over that decision? I can't find where anybody's even met and had discussion on that. You're putting generations of voters at risk with this debt and your accounting methods. It's just not good business. I think you guys know that, and there should be accountability. And also, you guys need to look at this free speech deal. I was traveling, couldn't make it last meeting, signed up to make it, couldn't make it. Didn't know if I could make it tonight. But because I'm traveling, trying to bring good projects back to Sedalia for our workers to build and put out to the world, couldn't make it. You guys really need to look at it. It's anti-free speech. It's disgusting. And you really should take a hard look at it. Thank you.
Mr. Goodson, can I get your address for the record?
Yeah, 100 Curry Drive.
Thank you. All right, anyone else?
No, that's it.
All right, very good. All right, so with that, I will go ahead and entertain a motion to move to closed session.
Motion to move to closed door session pursuant to subsection 1 legal advice, 2, real estate, 3, personnel, and 12, negotiated contracts of section 610.021 RSMO.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and second. Do I have any council discussion regarding that motion? Having heard none, I believe I need a roll call vote on this.
Robinson?
Yes.
Ames?
Yes.
Scribner?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yep.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Franklin?
Yes.
Motion passes. Go. All right, do I have a motion and second to return to the regular meeting?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Robinson?
Yes.
Ames?
Yes.
Scribner?
Here.
Bogus?
Here.
Hiller?
Here.
Cross?
Here.
Foster?
Here.
Franklin?
Here.
All right, call for the reading of bill number 2025-180.
Bill number 2025-180. An ordinance approving the conveyance of 2 properties from the city of Sedalia, Missouri to J.A. Lamy Manufacturing Company and Missouri Corporation and acceptance of 3 properties in exchange.
Second read.
Second.
I have a motion and second for second reading of bill number 2025-180. Do I have any council discussion regarding the bill that's on the floor? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2025-180, an ordinance approving the conveyance of 2 properties from the city of Sedalia, Missouri to J.A. Lamy Manufacturing Company and Missouri Corporation and acceptance of 3 properties in exchange.
Final passage.
Second.
I have a motion and second for final passage of bill number 2025-180. Do I have any council discussion regarding that bill? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Franklin?
Yes.
Robinson?
Yes.
Ames?
Yes.
Scribner?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yes.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
All in favor?
Bill passes. I'll now call for the reading of bill number 2025-181.
Bill number 2025-181, an ordinance approving a quitclaim deed for the conveyance of property commonly known as Maple Leaf Park, 105 North Lamine Avenue, from the city of Sedalia, Missouri to Scott Joplin International Ragtime Foundation of Sedalia Incorporated.
Second read.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the second reading of bill number 2025-181. Do I have any council discussion regarding that bill? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2025-181, an ordinance approving a quitclaim deed for the conveyance of property commonly known as Maple Leaf Park, 105 North Lamine Avenue, from the city of Sedalia, Missouri to Scott Joplin International Ragtime Foundation of Sedalia Incorporated.
Final
passage.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the final passage of bill number 2025-181. Do I have any council discussion regarding that bill? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Robinson?
Yes.
Ames?
Yes.
Scribner?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yes.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Franklin?
Yes.
All in favor?
I'll now call for the reading of bill number 2025-182.
Bill number 2025-182, an ordinance approving a warranty deed for the conveyance of property commonly known as 101 East Main Street from the city of Sedalia, Missouri to Scott Joplin International Ragtime Foundation of Sedalia Incorporated.
Second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the second reading of bill number 2025-182. Do I have any council discussion regarding that bill? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
Bill number 2025-182, an ordinance approving a warranty deed for the conveyance of property commonly known as 101 East Main Street from the city of Sedalia, Missouri to Scott Joplin International Ragtime Foundation of Sedalia Incorporated.
Final passage.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the final passage of bill number 2025-182. Do I have any council discussion regarding that motion? Having heard none, roll call, please.
Ames?
Yes.
Scribner?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Hiller?
Yes.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.